Seriously trying to watch all the films on Filmstruck's LGBTQ theme that was added in June that I have failed to watch, and they're all expiring soon, and I'm like, ugh. And I'd seen some of the ones that were on there, but there were some major films that were on that theme, and I hadn't watched them, and I was like failing at life. So this one was the one I started with because it was like the most urgent, was Lizzie Borden's Born in Flames. Now, you're asking me, Mariah, you watched an entire year where all you did was watch films by women, and you watched 360 films or whatever it was, and you didn't watch Born in Flames? I know. There wasn't any good prints available in 2015. There was a lot of crap prints, and then it got restored last year, and I'm like, great. And then Filmstruck added it. So I'm glad that I waited because I got to see a really nice version of it. It took Lizzie Borden 5 years to make this film, and it is a very, very feminist, radical film. Made in a quasi-documentary style. It is a sort of science fiction-esque film. It centers around several women who are in various groups of and this is supposed to be 10 years after a supposed socialist revolution in America, but it looks a lot like Reagan America because basically what she's saying is like you can have a revolution, but things will not change if you don't actually change the things that are the problem. And the various women, there's the women's army that use direct action to fight for what they need and want and to help other women, including helping women when they're getting harassed on the street and when they're getting harassed in buses and things like that. Then there are two women who run pirate radio stations. One, her station is called Radio Ragazza. She is a white punk rock lesbian, and the other, her show is called Phoenix Radio, and she is a black lesbian. And essentially, they talk about how basically black women and lesbians do all the work, which is a nice, fun kind of truism. What I thought was really interesting about the film, I'm not really getting into the plot, I'm sorry, but what I thought was really interesting about the film and how prescient it is that the term intersectionality wasn't coined and used in discourse until the late 80s, I believe, or early 90s. So this is almost a decade before the feminist movement really tried to embrace that term, and we still have problems embracing intersectionality. And this movie sort of talks about that, but also about the difference between actions and planning, and the difference between rhetoric and actions, and how sometimes it takes direct action to actually get anything done, and how the government can sometimes placate you with things that seem like they are fixes but really aren't. It's just a fascinating film. I really loved it. It has a lot of anger, and I think that's important. And great performances from a lot of non-professional actors, as well as several professional actors, and Catherine Bigelow out of nowhere. What is she doing acting in a movie? I don't know. Let's see, what else? It's from 1983. I recommend it. It's about to expire on Filmstruck, but you can find it elsewhere. And it just has a lot to say. Oh, I wanted to say there was this one section where they show like all the different work that women are doing, and it starts, or at one point there's a woman like packing the chicken, like putting the plastic covering on chicken that's going to go into the grocery store, and then the very next cut is a very like extreme close-up on a penis with a condom being put on it. And I liked this for two reasons. One, it mixed it in with all of the work that women do, and it was like basically saying like we even have to fucking put the condoms on you, like Jesus. And two, if you don't follow me on Tumblr, why aren't you following me on Tumblr? But also I have been cataloging dick shots in movies for the last like 5 or 6 years. So pretty much anything I've ever seen that has a dick in it, I've probably screenshot it and put it on my Tumblr. So always like it when I have a nice specimen for this. You know, I haven't screenshot the Dick Museum movie, and I need to do that. The Final Member. I own that on DVD. It's a good movie. So this is Born in Flames. I think it has a lot to say. I love the way it was made. I love the energy and the style of it. And it's one of those movies that you watch and you go, shit, I can make a movie. Not that it's not well made. It's not one of those like, oh my God, if this idiot can do it. It's more like, wow, she like guerrilla made this thing and it's great. And I could guerrilla make something and it could maybe be great too. I don't know. But it makes you want to because she did it. It's inspiring. So this is Lizzie Borden's Born in Flames. I cannot recommend it enough.